watched another movie because Can't Stop, Won't Stop, and this was 1928's The Cossacks. It stars two of my favorite actors and one of my favorite screen pairings, John Gilbert and Renée Adorée. However, this is not the best John Gilbert Renée Adorée combo that you will ever watch. It's actually, of the ones I've seen, the worst. It was mostly directed by George W. Hill. However, because of various shenanigans with the production, he left about two-thirds of the way through, and Clarence Brown came in and finished the film, as well as doing some reshoots of scenes that were not great. It is a loose adaptation of a novel by Leo Tolstoy, and it follows John Gilbert as Lukashka, the son of a head Cossack, I guess. There's a word for it, but I already forgot. Who is book learned and is a lover, not a fighter, and so he gets teased a lot. And at one point, tied up, flower crown put on him, and grapes thrown at him. That's one of the best sequences in the film, actually. He falls in love with a peasant, played by Renée Adorée. Her name is Mariana. And once the scene where the grapes get thrown at him happens, she is like, "You're a coward. I can't get with you. Like, you need to go find your, like, pride." And so he ends up chasing after a bunch of, like, escaped prisoners to try to show that, like, he's a tough guy even though he hasn't killed any Turks. While he's off on that adventure to like prove his manhood to his father and his people and Renée Adorée, she falls in love with a prince played by Nils Asther. Nils Asther is one of the most beautiful faces to ever grace the silver screen. He's gorgeous, but he's a bit of a dandy, and so you know that, like, punky Renée Adorée is not gonna go for this dandy, even though because she's got like a manlier dandy to go with. This film's a mess. It was written by Frances Marion, who basically said, as she was working on it, the story just got so away from her. There were too many cooks in the kitchen, too many rewrites, too many it should be this, it should be that she, by the time the film was over, she was like, I don't even know what this film was. Both John Gilbert and Renée Adorée felt like the film was beneath their star power. This is 1928. They had done several films together at this point. They were at the height of their careers. This movie was a mess, but it was also an expensive mess. It was one of the most expensive, if not the most expensive film MGM had done at this point. They built an entire Cossack village in Laurel Canyon. They shipped in 100 actual Cossack peasants from the Soviet Union to ride horses and be background characters. That's how expensive and preposterous this production was. And then you have your director, leave halfway through, and your stars are unhappy. And the film shows. It shows what a mess it is, and that no one was happy, and that it didn't really know what story it wanted to tell. And it's only an hour and like 15 minutes long, and it feels like a 4-hour movie because it's so disjointed and just not great. However, the version that's on TCM, and I think the Warner Archive DVD version, has a beautiful score from Robert Israel, so it at least has that going for it in 2017. So I would say if you're like a novice of silent film, maybe skip this one. But if you're like a diehard John Gilbert fan, there are at least several scenes where he is being a sass master, which is one of his best attributes, and he looks gorgeous. So there's that. But it's really like not their greatest films they've made together. I would definitely 100% see The Big Parade, obviously, above that, and La Boheme, which is a beautiful film. I actually have not seen 1922's Monte Cristo, which they made together. I need to track that down. And what else did they do? So the Cossacks. And Show People, I forgot. They're both kind of in Show People. And they were in a 1930 film called Redemption that I also haven't seen. Ooh, Tide of Empire is a good one with Renée Adorée. Go see that one. Wow, there's so many movies. Okay, there's too many movies. I love them all. Big Parade, La Boheme, much better. John Gilbert, Renée Adorée films. Check those ones out. However, if you're a completist, watch this one. Going in knowing it's a bit of a mess. Yes. So the Cossacks, 1928, a bit of a mess.